Ready, fellas? Okay, if you have a question, if you can just get my attention, please, and please wait for the microphones. Luke Edwards, please. Come on down.
You must have liked what you saw from your team today.
Yeah, good performance. I thought, it's even first half, really. I thought we created some good chances. Had to be patient for that first goal. When it came, I thought thought we scored 3 great goals today, actually. Thought we looked a constant threat in the game. But we had some moments where we had to defend well, and they were a threat from their set plays as well. So delighted with the win. It's a massive result.
I don't think I've ever seen an assist quite like that from Nick Pope. That is a truly remarkable throw, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a thing of beauty. We needed that second goal, and we've been working on not necessarily that throw with Nick, but certain parts of his distribution to make us more efficient. Distribution of goalkeepers these days is so important. But that was a sort of spontaneous moment, and Harvey finished it brilliantly, so delighted for both players.
A lot of good performances, but Anthony Gordon, a timely reminder of the sort of player, the sort of weapon he can be when he's playing like that.
Yeah, I thought both our wingers that started the game did really, really well. Great to see them combine for the first goal. That's a really pleasing sight. But yeah, Anthony played very direct. I thought athletically he was excellent because he put a real big effort in both on and off the ball. So yeah, good night for him.
Okay, I'm going to go to Lee Ryder, then to Keith Downey, please. Lee?
Eddie, does that one set some standards moving forward now for you?
Yeah, I think it is that kind of game that we have to take forward into our next few games that we've got coming up. I thought that's the level that we want to be at. And we've been threatening, I think, sort of putting a performance like that together. Even Brighton, there was some really, really positive moments, but that gets lost in the result. But today we got both. We got another clean sheet. We scored some goals. Confidence returned to our attacking players. So as I said earlier, it's a good night for us.
Just on Harvey quickly, is he the great example for you as a player who hasn't been playing as much as he wants, comes on and scores a great moment for him?
Yeah, that's what he needs to do. That's what every player needs to do when they're on the pitch. They need to deliver, and Harvey's always been a goal scorer for us. I'm pleased to see him score off the right today because he's actually played some good minutes for us on that side of the pitch, and I think he's played really well. Hasn't quite got the goals that he has on the left, but today it was 2 really good finishes. He should, a reminder of his qualities.
Thank you. Go to Keith Downey, then to Damien, please.
Eddie, we were talking yesterday, or you were asked, should I say, about the lack of goals from the wingers, I guess, in the Premier League. But when you actually look at the stats in the Champions League, that's Anthony got 4 and 3, and Harvey now 3 and 3. It's strange, isn't it? They're scoring so many in the Champions League, but it's not quite clicked for them yet in the Premier League.
Yeah, that's a head scratcher for me as well, because we know their qualities, we know their goal scorers, we know how good of players they are, and that goes through for another few players in our squad as well. You know, everyone's pointed to the fact that we haven't been scoring enough in the Premier League. But when you see us play like we did tonight and how we attacked and the amount of chances we created, that's a difficult one for us to work out. But all we can do is return to the Premier League and return with the same attitude. I think if the attitude's there, the quality will show.
And do you think the way that Nick plays dropping in deep like that, I mean, another incredible flick from him there for the third goal, is that in time going to create even more chances for the wingers to get their tally even higher?
Hope so. I think we keep saying the same thing about Nick. He's a unique player, and those type of flicks and touches, yeah, that's not coached, that's instinctive. We saw that before we signed him. We knew that he was very good around the box. He was very creative for other players. It's great to see us score off the back of one of them, and I thought that was a great goal.
Thank you. Damien?
Eddie, there was a little bit of disappointment when Sandro wasn't able to play, but how mature a performance was that from Lewis Miley filling in?
Yeah, top performance from Louis. I think so much that goes into him giving that performance. It's the ability to absorb all the hype and the pressure of the game and just deliver what he needed to. And he's got that unique ability, and he had it from the very first time he played, just to be his normal self and not be fazed by anything. And I thought that was an outstanding performance in a game where he was working in minimal space. It was quite tight in the middle of the pitch, but very intelligent. I thought he worked well with Bruno, in particular, because those two were combining quite well together. And a great performance from Louis.
2 seasons ago, you gave yourselves a platform after 2 games, and ultimately weren't able to build upon that. I suppose you're in a similar situation now. What will you take from that experience 2 years ago as you do try to build on it?
Well, I think the Premier League now takes importance. The Champions League, we're sort of getting in the habit of dipping in and out, as you do, because it's gone. This moment's a great moment. I want the players to sort of enjoy it and take the good from it. But the focus now has to be very firmly on Fulham. It's a big game for us in our Premier League return. And then, of course, we're going to the Carabao Cup. So it's really you're sort of dipping in, you're dipping out. We'll come back to the competition. We're enjoying it. We're more than enjoying it. We're loving it. But it's positive results we need to try and get us through.
Thanks, Dave. We've got to George Colkin, then to Scott, please.
Hi, Eddie.
Hey, George.
Nick's throw was obviously astonishing, but he's also part of a defence that's kept 7 clean sheets and 12 fixtures in all competitions. I think that's the best record under your management here at the start of the season. Can you just talk a little bit about how important that solidity has been for the team when it hasn't always clicked like it has tonight if you're under the pitch?
Well, it's been massive that we have been good defensively, because if you're not free scoring, games can get away from you very quickly if you're not. So I think we've worked hard on that. I think the players have worked really hard. I think they've also had some really good defensive displays from our back four, and of course Nick, who's hugely important to that. But I think the mentality's been really good to the off the ball work. I thought it was today. I think that was probably the hallmark of the performance. I thought our pressing, our energy was back to its very best levels, and then off the back of that we played better football and we scored goals from our pressing. The first goal came from winning the ball back high. So a lot goes into it, a lot of effort from the players, but they get the rewards at the end.
Do you feel like you're kind of halfway to being a really good team, or maybe a bit more, or but like on a night like this, you can sort of see exactly what the idea is, what the team might look like or can look like moving forward?
Yeah, I think you could certainly see. I can see the idea. The delivery of the idea I thought was really strong today. I think it was clear. I thought the players delivered it very well. I sort of get where you're going with it, because I still feel there's so much more to come, and we're seeing sort of the early shoots of a new team, and it's exciting what we can be, but a lot of hard work ahead.
Sure. We've got to Scott and then to Kieran, please.
Yeah, I'm loud enough. Just one more on Louis. I mean, he had the breakthrough season, then we know the injuries he's had and everything. What would a good season look like for Lewis Miley this season? What do you kind of hope as an individual he can do this season?
Well, I think injury free. I'd probably say that for every player, but Louis has had certain injuries, as you say, from last season, and I think he needs game time. He needs to play to develop. I think that's clear for any young player, but the big thing for me is he has to deserve that. I'm not just going to give it to him. He's got to actually deserve it, and I think nights like tonight will help him immensely to get more game time, to show that he's on a level playing field with the other players. We're dealing with Sandro, Joe, Bruno. To knock one of them out of the team is very, very difficult. But you saw JJ come in, Jacob Ramsey come into the team, did very well today. Louis shows the strength we have in midfield. Joe Willett did well in a very brief cameo, but good players in those positions, and they're all going to push each other, hopefully, for better performances.
And it kind of goes without saying, doesn't it, that how much he can learn and develop just by working with Sandro, watching Sandro and all that. I mean, that potentially will be massive for him, won't it?
Yeah, I think he's got some great role models there to look at. I mean, you've got different parts of each of the midfielders that we've just discussed, and you'd go, I'd love to take a bit of that and then put it into one player. And Louis is capable of doing a little bit of everything. I just think his composure, his presence on the pitch, I think you can feel for someone so young. That's very rare. So yeah, I'm very, very pleased. I think he's got certain things to develop and add. But yeah, I think he's in a good place.
Thank you. Kieran? Thank you.
Definitely need a microphone. Given Benfica's pedigree, the experience they have, the competition, the Mourinho factor, how much belief can the team take from a result like this?
Yeah, it wasn't an easy game. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, Benfica, as you say, huge European experience. They've got a manager that's been there and done everything in the game. So we knew today was a difficult game, and especially off the back of Saturday's result for us, that ramped the pressure on us, really, and we had to handle that. And that's why the win and the way that we won, really pleasing, and hopefully we can take that into our next few games, because we're going to need to back it up. One game in isolation in the Champions League means nothing. Now it's all about the next few games.
Can I just ask you, obviously it's a different attack this season. Because obviously they're used to having a certain player in front for a while. You're adapting a kind of a different sort of lineup now.
Yeah, so I think I've said many times, I think it is it's a small change, but it's a big change at the same time. So it's one player, and you think, well, that's one player. You should be able to just flip another one in. But the profile of the players are so different that does actually then have quite a big knock-on effect for how we play. That's not an excuse. That's just the reality. Nick is an outstanding footballer, and some of the things he did tonight are incredible. But we just have to make slightly different runs. We have to have slightly different movements and patterns off the back of that. And I think we're getting there in terms of understanding it. But as I'd always say, there's a lot more to come from individuals.
Thanks, Kieran. One more on this side? Anyone? No? All done? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.